Okay. Hello. Welcome to Snow Bunny Gaming. And you have another episode of Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. We are on episode number 10. And the topic this week is going to be, what do we value as gamers? Remember, we only have 9 days left for the Xbox Series S and X. And we also have 11 days for the PlayStation 5. Time is counting down. And we got to see what's going on this week. You have my host here, Project Storm. Storm, how you doing this week? What have you been up to?
Been up to a lot. I've been playing some games. I've been waiting for this next generation of gaming. I mean, Bunny, there's so much going on right now. I see Fugly in the building, Zajic in the building early. What's going on, y'all? Hey, yeah, I know what it's about to be tonight. It's about to be a lot of talking. It's a lot of news out here. It is. This is becoming the 2020 Bunny that I always imagined. Like 15 years ago, when I knew 2020 was going to be that technological period in time. I can see it coming to light now. Now, everything's not all peaches and cream the way I thought it was going to be, right? Um, there's some hiccups, there's the pandemic and all that stuff going on, but I could tell you right now, there's still a lot to be excited for, a whole lot. So that's all. I've been keeping up with the tech, trying my best to keep up with everything on the tech side of things, and playing these games at the same time.
Right. That's one very important factor. I'm gonna have something playing in the background on mine and I'll just make it full screen until um there we go. Until you want to show something. How's that, Storm?
Nah, that's cool. That is
All
cool with
right.
me.
So this is the mini partner direct that just got announced, that just like stealth dropped last week, that everybody is crazy about, but there's going to be no sound with it. I'm just showing it just to have something on the screen instead of our profile pictures. All right. So what have you been playing this week?
Been playing a whole lot of everything, jumping around from PC to Stadia over to PlayStation, my Xbox. That's a long story. You know what I mean? I called customer support yesterday, or had them call me. They was trying to charge me $200 for this HDMI port issue. That's exactly what I thought it was. $200. I said, man, before I pay $200, I'd rather take this thing to GameStop and put it toward the Series X. But I said, you know what? I don't feel like I need to be paying for a Series X. So if you were great about customer service, you would be thinking about sending me a free Series X out. I tried to get a free one, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But it if it wasn't for the next gen consoles being around the corner, Bunny, I would have been so pissed off because I like my Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I love my Xbox One X. I put a lot, hundreds of hours of gameplay into that thing, man. So I don't like the fact that it went out on me like that. And I hope that's not a widespread issue for the new Series X. Because what happened was when I got my new TV, I selected 1440p 120. And on my TV, they actually have a HDMI port. The Samsung Q80T only has one HDMI 2.1 port, right, Bunny? Which will allow you to play up to 4K 120. So I put it in that port and everything was good for a little bit. All of a sudden, kaput. It went black, never booted back up. Never saw the picture again. The power comes on, never saw the picture again. Now, that's unfortunate, but I know it happened to other people because I went out there and looked it up online. I went to the forums. I checked it out. I told a customer service guy who had dogs barking in the background. He was a nice dude, you know what I'm saying? But you could tell he was probably not even in the United States, and he has dogs barking in the background. And I'm trying to do my best to stay cool. But I didn't get mad. I didn't get mad only because of the fact that the Series X is around the corner. So just wanted to throw that in. But everything else has been going pretty good though.
All right. We got Fatal Sherrod in the chat. Hello, Fatal. How are you? Fugly, what's up, baby? And we got Zajic. Yes, Zajic, that was Bravely Default too. Like I said, I just have this playing in the background because there's a couple games in here that I'm planning on getting. I can't wait for them to come out. So what's going on with me on my end? You're up here trying to get a Xbox for free because your port should not have burnt out, and the console is less than what 3 years
3 years
old.
old.
Okay, and they try to charge you $200. That's a damn
I
shame,
mean,
right
come
there.
on now. I mean, for now, I can't butter that up. I don't give a damn how you angle that one. I can't butter that up right there. 200 though, and y'all can't even send me a Series S. Man, I can't.
Hmm.
I can't rock with it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. Hey, Peach, what's up, girlfriend? Glad you're here. Glad you're here.
Peach.
All right, so for me, I have been, as you know, the Halloween event was in Animal Crossing. I did that all day yesterday with me and my mom. Um, this week I've been working a whole lot, so I haven't really been playing much. You and I have to make a date for a game day so that we can play through Collar X Malice, or you can watch me play through Collar X Malice and put your input on it. Uh, and this game I want so badly. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This week we have a lot going on. It is 9 days, as I was saying, before the Series X, 11 days before the PlayStation 5. What do we value as gamers? I'm noticing there's a lot of gamers talking out here. And yeah, I understand you have your likes, your dislikes, things like that. But what do you as a gamer value? I'm noticing a lot of people up here talking about, oh, well, this is such a good value for players who can't afford this, can't afford that. They're worried about the other people playing the games and not themselves playing them. This might sound really kind of selfish of me, but when I'm thinking about the values that I buy these consoles for, I think about my entertainment first. Everybody else, okay, it's a whatnot. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But for me, I think about myself and my own gaming habits first.
Uh huh.
Yes, Game Pass is a great option for a lot of people out there. For me, it's null and void. It's whatever. Okay, it's a great value for people who want to have a lot of games to have access to, things like that. That's great. But what I'm noticing is these people are getting out here. The same people who are saying that Game Pass is a great value, being total assholes to other people.
Right.
Um, and my thing is yes, the game is great, and it might do good on Game Pass. Prime example, I'm backing a game, and it has a Discord server. And in the Discord server, people who are huge stands and who loves Game Pass and think Game Pass is the best thing ever are being total assholes in that Discord chat, talking about this game should be on Game Pass and this game would do so much better. Think about how much money they can get from Microsoft, this, that, and the other, totally ruining the effects of being in that Discord just talking about a game that you really want to play. So there's things that yes, there's great values, but you don't have to be an asshole about showing what those values are to get about games.
I agree. I fully agree with that. I think people's passion and their loyalty to one side, it contributes to all that, Bunny. And then we talk about it every week. You know, just how rabid some people can be, and I don't have no hate towards them for being that passionate about something that they love, because I had to put my finger on the idea of like some of these gamers love the controller, the size of certain controllers, like like I talked about before.
Mhm.
They like the UI and how simple it is to navigate it, or whatever the case is. They like the fact, like Xbox, how the apps are there as well, so they can use that. The Xbox as a two-in-one device where you can hook your cable box. The current Xboxes, I'm saying, not next gen. I don't know. I
Mhm.
think they're removing all that for next gen, which
Mhm.
sucks. The fact that they're taking away. Like I use the they had the extra HDMI port, HDMI. Shit, I forget what it's called. What is the damn app called? Somebody help me out. Y'all know what I'm talking about, where you can use the app and plug the PlayStation or any device, HDMI device, into that port, and you could be playing PlayStation on your Xbox. That was dope. And I know they removed that, and I'm not too happy about it. But Bunny, it was so many things that people are just, that they're just used to and they're comfortable with it. So some of them refuse to go other places. So yes, that's why they're going to demand that these games come, or they're going to wish that these games come to that platform because they don't want to go anywhere else. You know what I'm
And then
saying?
I
And
have
it
a,
took me a
I,
long time to learn that, Bunny. Long
a-
time.
and we have a few more people. Hello, Wrong. What's going on?
Wrong
Phantom. Hey.
Geezy.
Hello, Johansel. How are
Phantom
you?
cracking in the building. What's going
Um,
on?
but are you talking about there was an app that they removed off the App Store, right?
No, I'm saying that it's an app that's currently exists on Xbox right now that allows you the One Guide app. That's the name of it. Bunny, Switch has HDMI. You could plug your Switch. I think your Switch will work. If I'm not mistaken, I think Kenny has done it. Watch Kenny die. I think he did it before, but you could plug the Switch or whatever. It might be blocked. I don't know. Certain things might be blocked with the copyright protection, but I plugged my PlayStation into it, Bunny,
Into what? On
into
the
the extra HDMI. So there's an extra HDMI in and an HDMI out,
right,
on the back of the Xbox One.
right, and the out goes
And
to the TV.
yes, and the end is where you plug that device into that. You know what I mean? So the PlayStation into it or the Stadia into it. To see, so I could play Stadia through Xbox. I got videos on my channel running
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah. I understand that, but
You know
why
what I'm
would
saying?
you? Okay, so
But I think they're removing that for the Series X, is what I'm saying. But little
I'm
things
not even
like
talking
that.
about that. I'm trying to understand why that's even relevant because can't you just plug your console into the TV? Why you got to run it through the Xbox?
Well, you got to understand the tech side of things, and this is why we do YMYOG podcast. You know what I'm saying? I got to get you down with this technological side. It's so
Okay,
beautiful.
explain to me why I would need to plug my Switch into an Xbox just to play my Switch.
Well, Bunny, you don't have to. It's a luxury. All right. So,
I'm trying to figure out what that luxury is.
I'm gonna tell you. All right. Hold on. Watch. I tell you. Just give me 1 minute. I'm gonna break it down to you in a way where you never have to ask again. Now,
Trust me, I won't. But anyway,
well,
go.
with that being said, Snow Bunny, with that being said, because it's too early right now to start your shenanigans. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. Hey, I'm just trying. I'm fighting a cat, and I'm
Ah.
trying to figure out why I would want to plug my Switch.
All right.
Is it maybe for
I,
people who only have one HDMI port on their TV?
it's gonna be a little complicated because I know a lot of people still has not tried this. I bet you only half the chat has even tried it or care enough about it to try it. But imagine having one TV that you're playing your games on. You don't have to switch sources or anything like that. Like for the people that has multiple consoles on one TV and you got to get your remote, find your remote, hit the source button, change the damn source just to get to the other thing that you're trying to play. Some people do that, Bunny, believe it or not. Some people have 3 or 4 consoles and a PC, right? So
No,
it
no, no,
makes
no.
everything.
Because at my mom's house, I have to do it when I do from when she goes from her her Blu-ray player that
Yeah,
streams her Netflix
yeah.
to her Switch. But the upside to that is when she turns her Switch on, it automatically will ask her if she wants to jump to that port, and she just hits enter
I get
on
it,
her
but Fugly
remote.
just said it. See, hey,
That's what
Fugly
I'm
said
saying.
it.
Is it for people with limited ports on their TV?
Limited inputs, right? That's one thing. That's another way to look at it, right? But also, I have 4 inputs on both of my TVs. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And on my third TV,
Even the cheap TVs. I got like a $100 TV right here, and I
yeah.
have more than one port. So, how old are the TVs that's got
All right.
limited
Hey, hey,
ports?
hey, hey. Now, when you got to be careful when you start talking like that, because see, you're gonna ask how old people's TVs are and stuff like that, and people might not be able to get a better TV. So we got to be careful. I'm trying to be
I
a
mean,
lot.
no, no, no. I understand that,
I mean, it might be
but
old. All right, here's
on the flip side of things, like literally my TV that I'm playing on, I got multiple ports right now, and my mom's TV that has multiple ports on her TV. They're at least 10 years old.
All right, now check it out. Hold on. Let me break it down for you, real quick. You can cycle through. All right, say you plug the your switch into your Xbox. Hold on now. I know you're gonna ask me
I'm
why would
I'm
you ever
I'm
need to do
with
that again. Now you can plug that switch into your Xbox. You don't have to change your source at all. All you had to do is go to the app, cycle through the apps on your Xbox dashboard, and hit one guide. And then the one guide will take you right to your Switch gameplay. And guess what? Your Xbox game can be running at the same damn time, Bunny. That's dope. So it was kind of like a future. It was like a glimpse into the future with quick resume or something. Not necessarily the same as quick resume, but being able to cycle between the two. Like I figured out a way to do that. Money, it's crazy. I'm just gonna tell you right
Hey,
now. It's
I'm
cool. It's
just going
super
to
cool.
sit here.
To
It's
run my
gotta be.
Stadia through the Xbox, hit the guide on the Xbox, and then go between Destiny 2 on the Xbox, then go back to Destiny 2 on the Stadia. It allowed me to do a comparison video, Bunny. It was so that's not dope to you?
No, no, no. I understand that, but that just seems like too much damn work for me.
Not too much work. If you could click
No,
on
but I
Netflix,
mean, my thing is okay. So here's my whole thing. Okay, I understand why you did it so you could make comparison videos,
right.
but for the everyday person, why would you need it? Are you going to be switching between playing two different games at the exact same time?
Some people will be bouncing back and forth. I'm glad you said that because quick resume is a feature that's coming in the Series X, Bunny. Do you
And
understand
that's
what you
with
could
and
do with
that's
quick resume?
and
But
that's
but
with
Bunny,
one
but hold
console.
on, Bunny,
I
Hold on,
understand that
because
on one console, but I'm talking about two different consoles here. That's comparing apples and oranges.
I
I
don't
can
think you're
understand on
understanding the
one.
significance of it.
Okay.
I just don't think you're understanding the
I mean, I
significance of
understand
it.
the significance of quick resume. You just bounce right back into the game you're on. But are you sitting here telling me two people who are playing, like one person's playing the Switch on the TV and the other person's playing the Xbox on the TV? Do you think they're going to want to bounce back and forth between the two games?
Hey,
When the
here's the
one
deal.
person, when the one person with the Switch will just grab the Switch out and play it portably?
I wish we had Ray Sherrod. Ray Sherrod, man, come on the show, man. Somebody come on the damn show. We got Stadia Doses News in the building, man.
What's
Somebody
up?
out here,
What's up?
come help your boy out. Damn,
I
Wilson,
mean,
I'll send you the link. I'll send
no,
you the
no,
link.
no, no.
Hey,
I'm not being. I'm like I said. I'm literally trying to understand it because, like I said, I understand the concept of it, and especially for people who create content who goes back and forth. Quick
mm-hmm.
resume, I can understand on the Xbox because people bounce between games. Not everybody sticks with one game, so you can bounce from this game to this game to this game. But when it comes to two different consoles, you can actually bounce between two different consoles like that?
You're not understanding the beauty of it. That's all. So quick resume. It's so dope. It's a feature I'm looking forward to because say I want to play all the battlefields that's available this generation, right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Or all the Call of Duties. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
a content creator. I could boot up, I could have all those damn Call of Duties ready, Bunny, one by one after the next. Like 5 different Call of Duties if I want to. I can go back to Advanced Warfare, Bunny. Now hold on now. I can have all of them lined up like ducks in a row. And as I'm using my capture card to capture this footage, Bunny, I could then use quick resume. I won't have to wait 2 or 3 minutes for the game to boot in. I got to go through the damn multiplayer sign in and all that. I could jump right back in where I left off. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
And
think about
I
that for a minute now.
understand.
I can go through
I
the whole
understand
lineage
that.
of Call of Duties this generation and make a dope ass video, like a compilation video. That's dope. Don't
And
be
you
yo.
still haven't answered my question. I understand that for the Series X and the Series S. I understand that people want to jump back and forth, especially for content creators. I understand that quick resume feature is going to be dope. Okay? I understand that. But my point is and the only way I can see it on the Series X, I mean the One X now, the reason you would want to plug your Switch in is if you want to do a content video comparing two versions of the same game on each console. But if the games aren't the same, then why are you having two different? Why do you need that on the One X? It seems like it was a function that was put in that was meant for greatness, but they realized nobody was using it, and that's the reason they're taking it out.
No, I think they meant it to for the cable boxes that has HDMI. You can actually plug that cable box,
That
and it has,
makes total sense,
what I'm
but
saying. But they
that makes
realized that people
total
were
sense.
using it for other devices and stuff. I think.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. I understand the logic behind it, but I don't understand why you would need to do two separate. What the hell is that? Anyway, you would need to do two separate consoles connected that way. Like I said, they've probably been monitoring what everybody does on their Xbox. Notice nobody was using the feature, so they got rid of it next gen.
All right. Well,
Just like Call of Duty
I
got
miss
rid
it.
of.
I miss it. That's all. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, just like Call of Duty got rid of single player because they said not enough people were playing it or completing it.
I get all that, but what we're talking about, what I was trying to do, I was trying to go to the actual the features and technology that's coming with the next gen platforms. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
These systems are going to be beasts when it comes to
Mm,
certain things. Like people might look at them as small, but for somebody like me, huge. They're huge, huge features, huge
but
technology.
there's huge features and huge technology that I will agree with. Why is there still games running at 30 frames per second on the next gen consoles?
We are not talking about that tonight on tonight's
Uh,
show.
let's be honest. You can sit here and talk about all the leaps, jumps, bounds, things like this, but you and every gamer have been begging, pleading, asking, saying, we want 60 frames per second. Why can't they deliver it with this huge boost in technology? They're even
Easy,
bringing SSDs into the picture, which we
e
both know people are saying going to do all this, but you and I both know they're for load times and speed.
Yes, load times and
And
memory
that's how you're
speed,
able,
and
and that's how you're able,
texture streaming, and
and
all
that's
the good things that make these games like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and other games run so beautifully. Like it's
and
contributing to all that.
that's how you also are getting where you get the quick resume. You can do quick resume very easily with SSDs because of the speed factor. But gamers have been begging for consoles to hit 60 frames per second for the longest time. We're about to have this huge upgrade boost, but not all games are running at 60 frames per second. I mean, we're even seeing rumors that some games are running at 4K 60 frames per second, but if they're running with ray tracing, they're running at 4K 30 frames per second. You're going to have to give up something to get the other thing. With all this technology boost, and they talking about this is the most powerful this is the most powerful that. Why aren't you guys getting 60 frames per second?
I'll tell you, that's a good question. I don't have the answer. It's up to the developers to answer that, and Microsoft or Sony.
You might
And
not even be getting that on first person games. I can understand. I mean, first party studio games. I can understand first party. I can understand third party is optional because you can't control what third party does. But every one of your first party games should be coming out at 60 frames per second. No,
and
no sitting up here talking about we got to do a patch or we're going to upgrade it, enhance it later
I was
down.
gonna go there. I was about to go there.
You, these consoles are just coming out with the cutting edge technology.
All right, check this out. In order to understand how it's all going to play, how it's going to come to fruition, right? You got to understand the architecture. RDNA2, Bunny. Do you know anything about that? Have you ever heard of RDNA2?
I just know it's something in graphics cards or something.
Yes, it is. AMD. The RDNA 2 is specific in AMD cards. Good job. Now, and I'm not trying to play you because I know you're not a tech person. I know, but see, the conversation we had, but I feel like you be setting me up. You know what I mean? I feel like you set me up to get on live, and then you laugh at me, and then you like MMA. He came in here talking about what do you say? What do you say? Hold up. He said kick his ass or something. Do something. But look,
What?
don't be setting me up now. If you know you're a tech person at heart, um, don't set me up. But RDNA 2 is going to allow some amazing things. RDNA
Oh, and let
3.
me answer Fugly's question. There's a
Okay, good.
rumor right now. There's a rumor right now, Fugly, that Watch Dogs Legion will run at 4K 30 frames per second with ray tracing.
Yeah,
So, though that's what I'm talking about. They're talking about stuff like that with ray tracing. Will ray tracing drop games down from 60 frames per second to 30 frames per
not
second?
if there's a good performance mode. If there's a performance mode, then you're going to be probably seeing 14. Hopefully, they're going to be enabling 1440 60 or 144120 and
But
stuff
you
like
have to
that
have
as we go on.
you have to and see, and that's the thing. You have to have a performance mode to do that when these games are just these games are built for this architecture.
I get all that, but see, you don't want to end up paying $3,000 for a console, right, Bunny? So they have to be cost effective, and PCs disguise the limit. You could pay $30,000 if you want to for a PC. Shit, all you gotta do is make it the case
Then
gold,
why
solid
are you
gold, and
then
you
why
put
do
some nice
you
components and water cooling and all that stuff. And
then
now they got the liquid metal cooling.
let
So
me
I'm
ask
saying,
you this, but let me ask you this.
go
If
ahead.
that's the case, why are you, the guy who don't even play Nintendo because of the graphics and stuff, are limiting yourself to consoles and haven't made the bounce straight to PC?
Easy. Oh, easy. Good question. That's because it's games on every platform, experiences on every platform, Bunny.
Now
And
you're
there's
contradicting yourself because
oh, ho,
you won't get
ho,
a Switch because of the graphics and the
oh,
power of it.
ho, ho. You're right. You're right. But guess what? I told you the Switch don't have what Xbox has and what PlayStation has right now. And that's the ability to hit up to 4K. Up to 4K. Nintendo Switch can't give me that. It's played out. I can't rock with it for that reason. I want 4K. I'm ready to
And
move
are you
on to greater things.
are
I'm
you
tired of the
and
old,
have
same old, same old. I need that new, new. You know what I'm saying?
and
I'm tired of it and I'm not going back.
have they guaranteed 4K yet for these next gen consoles?
They basically put it on the box. If they put it on the box,
And I'm
it's got
wondering
to be
if
good.
on the box they have a little asterisk next to it.
It won't have an
With
asterisk next to it. It should not have an asterisk. All right. It should not. It won't. The RDNA 2 architecture is powering these things, Bunny. And they're talking about rumors and buzz. I saw D Batch, I think, drop something not too long ago about RDNA 3. I need to go check that out. Now, I don't know. See, here's the thing, and I got to be careful, right? Because people don't understand. They won't do the homework. They won't do the research. So they'll come in, I mean, I'm glad I'm in a position where I could help people understand what RDNA 2 architecture is about. Now, the Xbox Series X money, they're saying Microsoft has recently said, or Xbox has recently said that they've been proud. They basically celebrate the fact that they'll be able to take full advantage of the RDNA 2 architecture, and that will basically show that those 12 teraflops are being put to use. All right. It'll have a 1.7 teraflop lead over the PS5, Bunny. And now some people might say teraflops. I don't give a damn about teraflops. I want these games. Just show me the games. I want to see the experience, the loading, all that good stuff, right? And that's cool. But when you start looking at things like DirectX 12, Ultimate, and you heard like AMD. I don't know if you checked that show out, but I encourage people to check these shows out. Get more involved in the tech side of things. You know what I'm saying? The games are cool, some of them are cute, but get more involved in the tech side of things is what I ask people to do. You know what I mean? I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm asking. But when you start talking DX12 and see, in order to understand DX12, you got to go back to DX11, DX10, DX9. DX11 introduced tessellation, I think, or DX10, one of them. Tessellation is like making things look more realistic, surfaces, bumpy surfaces, and rocks and mud and all that good stuff in these games, money that looks so awesome to look at. The ultimate goal, I think, is for these developers to try to get their games to be more cinematic like. That's why Miles Morales, I keep going back to Miles Morales and Gears of War. All these different games are going more cinematic than ever because people love the movies, Bunny. I think
And,
I think
and
that Sony has a connection with their Sony picture side of things. And I think that they are on the phone talking to them about technologies that they're using on the cinema side. Like, because their games are beautiful, like they're cinematic in a way, like Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, man. So many of those games over there, ridiculous, ridiculous. The God of War, yo, Detroit Become Human. The list goes on and on. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, Bunny. Come on now, like you see what I'm getting at right now. So
I
that's what
see
gets
what
me
you're
hyped. That's what
getting
keeps
at.
me up at night. You know what I'm saying? I
I
literally be on my phone looking at stuff like this. What's new about tech? I need to know
and,
it.
and see, and this is the only thing that you ask people to look into the tech side of things, and I ask people to look at what they've given you now. Look at this last gen of consoles, especially on the Xbox side. I don't really listen to anything Xbox says because they have to show it to me. What did they show us this current gen that we're in right now?
Gears of War native, Forza native. You know what I'm saying? Now, PlayStation, so they might not have been doing too many
I'm not
native
even
games.
talking about. I'm not even talking about. See right now, like I said, you brought up Xbox. Xbox said that they did this, they did that, they did this.
But that's a fact. They
Xbox,
did native 4K 60 in
no,
certain
no, no,
games.
no. They said that, but what I'm saying is they said a lot of things this gen also that didn't pan out to fruition. I mean, that's the thing you have to look at. Actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they can say everything under the sun to get you to give you them your money.
But
But
it's facts. You can back it up. Digital Foundry and other people out there backing this thing up. King Thrash, other people out there backing this thing up. Random Noob, Zajic right here in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys know what they're talking about. You got, Phantom Kraken and Dirt and all them. They trying to tell it that the Xbox camp what the deal is. They see these guys are doing the research. You see what I'm saying? So you I we can't, all right, people can't
you
back
can't
things unless
do
they are
can't
confident.
you
Now,
can't back shit that's put in
I'm saying,
paper until you
wait,
get the
wait a minute.
console in hand.
Wait a minute. Let me get the mic for like 15 more seconds. 15 more seconds. Because all I want to say is this, right? 4K 60 is a thing on Xbox One X right now, is all I've been trying to say the whole time. Now, checkerboard rendering on the PS4 Pro, that got Horizon looking beautiful, God of War looking beautiful, and all those games over there on the PS4 Pro looking beautiful, right? Some people
Mhm.
can't tell the difference between 1080p and 4K. Some people can't tell native 4K from checkerboard or dynamic 4K, right? But what I
Mhm.
will say tonight is that I can damn sure tell the difference, especially on a 4K TV with real HDR10 and HDR10 plus and HDR12 and stuff like that, or Adobe Vision and all that good. So you can see it. You can see the difference. So you know when you're playing a game in 4K versus 1440p. Not so much between 1440p and 4K, but definitely from 1080p to 4K, bunny. So if you were to see, I guarantee you, if you were to see a Nintendo game, if Nintendo tomorrow up the cloud, like because they got this cloud thing popping off now, and
Mm.
they did that for a reason because they knew the Switch couldn't hit the performance marks that their the hardware um basically can't do. You know what I'm saying? The cloud can do that. So I know we'll get into that at some point during the show, but Bunny, all I'm
Actually,
saying
that was
is
a great segue into it. Actually,
okay. Well, we can go there because this technology thing I told you, this is something I ride with. You know what I mean? I'm never
and
gonna give up on the tech side of things.
you just said something that actually got me curious about a thought process of mine. But anyway, so yes, as we know, this week on the direct, Nintendo has two games coming to the from the cloud. We have Control Ultimate
Mm-hmm.
and Hitman 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after the trial, the control I know is $40. I'm not sure how much Hitman 3 it's going to be. Because right now it's a free download, but you can in-game purchases. But people are saying that it's to test your signal, and
Mm-hmm.
if your signal's not good enough, then it won't let you purchase it.
Yeah.
But this isn't the first time Nintendo's embraced the cloud. In Japan, they did Assassin's Creed Odyssey and they did Resident Evil 7.
What were the results of that? Because I missed that one.
Okay, so with Resident Evil 7, Capcom classified it as a failure but a success because they saw that it could do it, but I think the model that they were doing with it is reason it failed. The model that they were doing with cloud streaming Resident Evil 7 to the Switch was they were doing it by chapters. So people were basically renting 3-month chapters. Every like 3 months, they would drop a new section, and you would have had to complete it the other section prior to that, or else you would have to repurchase it. So it wasn't like you know how in Stadia you buy the whole game.
Yep.
In with Resident Evil 7, you weren't buying the whole game. You were
Oh, you.
basically renting
Oh,
sections.
oh, that would never be a thing for Project Storm to do.
I mean, and so they saw that people were interested in it, but it wasn't a big enough success for them to continue to try it. And like I said, that could have been Capcom's marketing strategy with it. Um, so this isn't the first time this, and I don't know how the Assassin's Creed Odyssey trial went, but I know how the Resident Evil 7 trial went.
Okay, fast
Um,
forward to this because that was interesting. I'm glad you broke that down. I got to go back and look at that.
this was right around a little after Resident Evil 7 came out. So that was what happened with Resident Evil 7 on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
And now you got Control
Control,
and
but
Hitman.
there's
You
a
said.
caveat. There's Hitman 3, but there's a caveat with Control. They're saying that even on the eShop, let me see if I can pull that up on the eShop to see if it does say that. Let me start
All
sharing
right.
the
And
screen
while you're
again.
doing that, I'm definitely catching the chat right now because
Mhm.
we got some people up in here that know their stuff. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna go with Phantom Kraken and work our way up. First of all, Red Raven joined. What's going on, Red
What's up,
Raven on the
Red?
Twitch? So Phantom Kraken says yes on the game in the games department. Snow can make an argument, but on the tech side, Halo 5 60 FPS, no drops. No drops. Double underline that right there, right? No drops. Gears 5, 4K 60. All right. Forza, the same. And now with the Series X's power money, it's going to make that even more, it's more stable, you know. So that's why we're having this conversation about tech tonight.
Right.
Yeah. Doing pretty good, Red Raven. I hope everything is good out there. You know what I mean?
So let's see here.
But let me go back. Let me continue then. Ray Sherrod,
Yeah,
what's
go
going
ahead.
on? The brother is always everywhere. You know what I mean? Definitely does his own thing. Check out Ray Sherrod, man. Everybody else in here that makes this content. Of course, you know where to find Phantom Kraken. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, it's on the WBG podcast. You know what I'm saying? Every Monday. At what time? 6:30. You know what I mean? We also got, let me see, Ray Sherrod, you can check him out. I think it's Ray3473 or Ray Sherrod. You'll be able to look him up if you want to see some of his content he makes, Stadia content and all that good stuff. So he says AMD RDNA 2 architecture is the foundation for next generation PC gaming graphics, the PS5, the Xbox Series S and X consoles, groundbreaking. It is definitely groundbreaking because it's what's powering all this beautiful stuff that we're going to see. We're going to talk about the games in a little while, y'all. The games that I saw so far, including Dirt 5, and I know we all had some laughs about Dirt 5 and all that, but I did see some. I saw some tracks, some nighttime tracks, and some mud and wet mud and all that. And I think that game right there might look better than what we initially thought and when it drops.
All
So
right.
go ahead though.
So with this, you get a free launcher application with Control to test the game. They said if your internet connection becomes unstable, the service would disconnect after a few minutes. Um, and then you would have to purchase it. You also have to have a Nintendo account to access the cloud service. But there have been articles out. Go Nintendo, I believe, GoNintendo.com have stated that if you get the game and they cancel the cloud access to Control, they're going to give everybody a 6-month warning that they're canceling the cloud access to Control. So that brings up a whole nother can of worms because you would have paid for it and then you won't have access to it anymore.
Right.
Which is a lot of fear of a lot of people with all digital and the cloud service.
I just want them to streamline this thing, and I see so much potential in this whole cloud side of things. If you're a Nintendo gamer, you should be pushing for this and wishing for it and praying for it because I myself know what the cloud is capable of, Bunny. Can you imagine all those first party games coming to the cloud? And you can instantly play those games no matter where you are, even on your Switch, no matter where you are. Switch Lite, don't matter. Joy-Con.
But if you don't have internet access, then you won't be able to play it.
Yeah, that's something that they had to work on. That's all they have to start.
That's the one thing about the cloud that it limits you. If you
But if
don't
you listen,
have it,
if you think about the damn inventing of Wi-Fi 6 and 5G and all this stuff, all they got to do is incorporate this technology somehow, and it'll be a better experience than it necessarily would be right now for the Switch owners or whatever. I would love it.
But then I have friends who use their Switch from a mobile hotspot, and it drives up their price of their internet.
Yeah, it's the same thing for everything. Everything right now that you're using internet for, data caps, all that stuff. Yep, it exists for every single thing.
And yes, it's a good idea, but the thing is for me and for most people, whether you have a Switch or any internet access connection, that's the one thing you got to think about, whether you have data caps. Like I know with Comcast, certain times of the day, my internet access goes kaput. It goes down, it drops because they classify it as a hot time during the day when everybody's online.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So is the Switch running things in the background online or okay, I guess I answered my own question, I guess, because just like with everything else, as long as you don't really, because now I'm thinking about how these consoles run things in the background that depends on that online connection. But the data caps don't normally go because I don't have to worry about data caps. So y'all help me out. I have Verizon, so I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? At all. So you're not using your data when you're connected online. Like say I'm not on Warzone right now, or Gears of War multiplayer or Halo 5 multiplayer, right? As long as I don't go multiplayer, I'm okay. Or is it still using little bits of data no matter what I'm doing because I'm signed in? Can somebody help me with that?
I know on the Switch, if I cut my internet off on the Switch, I'm still able to access all my games except for my games that's internet only, like Warframe, Splatoon. I can't access Splatoon 2. I can't access Warframe. But if it's a game that I straight downloaded, or I have it on a cartridge, I can access it. The only thing I wouldn't be able to access is if it needs an update, but I would still be able to play it even if it was offline until I put it online, and then it would force me to do an update.
Okay, so and Fugly just confirmed by saying no, just kilobytes, which is small, you know what I'm saying, for back checks or whatever. And then Charles just joined us. What's going on, Charles?
Charles
He said I may have missed it, but what were your thoughts on the control demo. I mean, we could recap it real quick because Bunny was still kind of talking about it.
Yeah, we're still
Uh,
talking about like control and the internet access and how things are on the Switch and things like that. Like I said, I always said this about cloud gaming. I'm classifying cloud gaming just like an MMORPG. You always have to be connected to the internet. Okay? Like if you have World of Warcraft, you can't play World of Warcraft. If your internet goes out, you're not playing World of Warcraft. With cloud on the Switch, or I don't even know if Stadia is like this. If the internet goes out, you can't play any. You can't
can't
play
play
any
it.
of those cloud games.
Can't do it. You
Um,
can't.
and right now, people are worried about because they're saying that there's something out here saying that if they cancel controls cloud access to the Switch, they're going to give everyone a 6-month notice.
So
So
they're saying that they're leaning. What is this? Is it saying that they're leaning towards it, or they're saying is it a time thing or something? I might have missed the point.
look at the article I sent you.
All right, I'll check that out.
It's in Twitter. They were talking about how
Oh, 6 months advance warning if controls cloud service is coming to an end.
yes. So that right there, people are like, okay, I'm gonna pay $40, sis, but then I'm gonna lose access to it, or I may lose access to it. And that's the one thing about cloud that kind of makes me a little leery of cloud and actually all internet going straight digital. Because just recently, I think last August, they took Forza 3 off the Windows Store. You can no longer purchase that game or download that game anymore, unless you already had it. So they periodically remove games from there. So that's one thing people who buy nothing but physical worry about. Hey, if we buy all these digital games, are we gonna ever lose access to them?
Yep,
Um,
and that's
and
a good point. Good
and
point.
that's actually already happened to me. Like 10 plus about 10, 15 years ago. No, about 10 years ago. I used to play City of Heroes, City of Villains. I used to pay. I bought the games, then I paid $14.99 a month for like 3, 4 years. I ended up canceling the game, playing Guild Wars, things like that. I went back to play the game. They had shut down all the servers, and I could never access that game again.
Wow. Well, I here's the thing to ease people's minds, especially like for the people that's trying cloud, they know. I think it comes down to like the provider of the service that's going to be in the cloud. If they can make it clear and transparent to you before you sign up,
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be the best thing to look into before you jump in. I know with Stadia, Phil Harrison said repeatedly that the games are yours to keep. So I guess when they have the service now, yeah, if it goes down, you can't play those games. It's in the cloud. There's no backup right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that you could get on.
But what
Now
if
it could be something that they're working on. I don't know. But right now, if the internet goes down or something crazy happens, you're not going to enjoy those games. And this is why I have multiple devices so that if one goes down, I have a backup plan. But he did say that you keep your gains. That like he said that the gains are yours forever. That type of terminology will set you up for a class action lawsuit. So I know that they don't want a class action lawsuit or whatever on their hands. So I'm sure they have some kind of system where you still will be able to play those games somehow, some way. And if they don't, they're developing that. So maybe Nintendo could
but
be beneficial if some of these platforms communicate. I know they're competitive, but still, I still think that sometimes behind the scenes they communicate and they take ideas and all this kind of stuff. I don't know, but I think it'll
and
help.
Fugly just brought up a very good point. He says, I have games purchased on Nintendo Store and downloaded that won't open up due to DMR online key equals stupid. Yes, Nintendo has something in place where, let's say, you have more than one Switch, okay? And this is the stupidest thing ever. I hope they change it. But this is the stupidest thing ever. If you have more than one Switch, let's say you have a Switch and a Switch Lite, and you have your profile on both Switches, you have to
Yeah.
figure out which Switch is going to be your dominant, which is going to be your main Switch, and which one is going to be your non-primary Switch. And then the one that's the non-primary Switch, any games that you buy digitally, that console always has to be connected to the internet for them to check to make sure you bought that game. So any
Wow.
game you download onto your Switch, it would go on both Switches, but the one that's your primary one, even if that Switch is not connected to the internet, you could play it. But if the other one has to be connected to the internet. That's one reason why I don't have a Switch Lite. That's the
Yeah.
stupidest shit I've ever
Well,
came across.
well, here's something I just thought about. Like today, you have a lot of free to play games, the Fortnites and the Apexes and so many others, right?
Mm-hmm.
People will have to suffer that same fate, as the cloud users would suffer, right? And I know
Mm-hmm.
that they can go back and still play something on a different device. I don't have to remember. I don't have to worry about that because I'm going to have an Xbox console, a PlayStation console, a PC, and I'll have those cloud services. So I think I'll be set, and I can definitely enjoy single player games, although I prefer to play online with friends and real human beings because the AI is just not where it needs to be yet, but they're working on that too. This generation. So it's all interesting to talk about, and it's definitely, something that's worth our time every show to discuss it. But I don't think that people have to worry about it right now. If Nintendo pulls the plug, hopefully they'll do so in advance. Let
I don't
people
think it
know.
would be Nintendo. I don't think it would be
Or
Nintendo. I
whoever the service provider or whatever.
whoever made cloud, I mean, whoever made Control,
Oh yeah, okay. The
505
publishers.
Games.
That was
Mm-hmm.
Remedy. So I thought
505
Remedy.
Games.
So
505 Games is who
so
put it
Remedy is the publisher then.
on. Software published by 505 Games.
Hmm. Why the hell did I think? Hold on. Because I could have sworn
On
Remedy.
the Switch.
It's the makers of Quantum Break, right? Hold on.
See, look
What
right
the
here.
hell?
Look on your screen.
All
Software
right.
published by 505 Games.
Got you. Okay.
And Control Ultimate Edition Cloud version is right there.
All right. Okay. Remedy. Let's see. It says developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by 505. Yeah, so 505 is the publisher. Remedy is the
Uh-huh.
developer. That's all. Yeah. All
Now,
right.
if now the downside to that whole thing is if 505 Games and Remedy has a falling out, Control Digital, if it's published by 505 Games, it might leave all shops digital until it's resolved. That's the downside to the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you know what? We'll deal with that when it comes because
Mhm.
I'm enjoying the potential of the cloud is humongous, dog. That's why Xbox, PlayStation, GeForce Now, and so many other Nintendo, Stadia, Amazon. I mean, yo, Walmart was thinking about it. I mean, you got so many people, companies out here that knows about this cloud. They're trying to get into the race because they know what's up. You know what I mean? They know that it's going to be like the potential, even if it doesn't replace consoles, it will give people so much value that those console gamers are going to look into the cloud like, yo, you know what? Now this is pretty cool that I can play my Xbox games on xCloud anywhere I go. Same thing with Nintendo's, Stadia is already doing it. Luna is they're about to find out about it. So it's already there. So it's cool. So I just don't think it's cool for people to try and shoot the idea down like so many have when this could be a future for all of us as gamers. You know what I'm saying, Bunny?
I mean, they are like literally a lot. Some people are having issues with accepting it on Nintendo, and I'm sitting here like, for me, they're like, well, you have to be on the internet constantly, this, that, and the other. I have to be on the internet constantly for Warframe. Do you see me complaining about it?
No.
I have
But
to be on the internet constantly for Splatoon 2. You can't play Splatoon without an internet connection because it's an online game. It's a shooter game.
right. And if they were to pull the plug somehow, or the internet were to go out right when there's a big Splatoon event like the one you were just recently talking about, or
Mhm.
Splatoon 2 or something, right when Splatoon 2 gets ready to launch, kaput, the internet goes out. People are pissed off. You know what I'm
Can't
saying? No matter how you look at it.
don't sit up here, and this is my thing. Don't sit up here and scream about how you have to be online all the time for these games. Okay, yeah, I understand it, but I play games that I have to do that all the time with. You don't see me bitching about Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft, how I can't play them offline.
Yeah.
Those are the things, and I guarantee you, those same people who are screaming about Control being online only or Hitman being online internet connection only are the same ones who play Warframe and Splatoon 2 and don't complain about those.
Yeah. Um,
In the middle of a match playing Splatoon and let something janky happen with my internet, like I have a drop and it comes back up. It says no internet connection provided and boots me right out.
Yo, Zontic just said something right here. DRM is a necessary evil because otherwise you will have mass pirating. Now, I think that with that in mind, this is
Mhm.
why these companies are going to try to push you to the cloud within the next couple years. Microsoft Bunny has this theory, so do I, man. People might get mad, but you know where our heart's coming from, right?
Mhm.
It seems as if with all this Xbox Series S shenanigans, I call it, you know what I mean? These shenanigans about the S. At first, it was like the CPU and all this stuff is going to be, oh man. Now, look, I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. Stay with me for 1 minute, right? But it's too late. It's kind of too late. First of all, they announced their consoles late, PlayStation and Xbox, late as hell. Gamers on both sides was kind of like stuff was skeptical with that. You know what I'm saying? Now you're coming out and we're finding out that the Series S is weaker than we thought it was going to be. I thought with this new the Ryzen or Zen CPU that it was going to be able to have enough horsepower to push these games because I thought the CPU in the Xbox One X was the Achilles heel. But now I don't know if it has something to do with this feature set. I don't know. Maybe Bunny, maybe something needs to be upgraded. All I'm saying now, right now, though, is it seems like they're trying to push us to the cloud, and it's like it's done in a stealthy type way. Like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and give y'all the old games to play. Like we're gonna price this thing the same as a One X, even though we don't have exclusives for y'all right now, and all this stuff. It seems like that, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and make the Series X weaker, but it could do 1440p up to 120 or whatever frames per second. But now 30 frames per second seems like it's a trend with PUBG and other games. I don't know about that. What's your thoughts on the whole thing? I know you said at one point, I know how you felt about it, but I just want to hear you say it again because I'm not backtracking on what I feel about the technology side about it and why I'm hyped for the next generation. But man, it does seem like some things are happening where Game Pass and XCloud is being hyped up and PlayStation Plus now and all this stuff and PS Now is being uh, updated and made better. And now 6 games are coming to PS Now and all this other stuff that's happening. What do you think?
I mean, the thing is like one thing I've noticed since the beginning of this gen back in 2013, right around that time, if you think back to back then, GameStop was at the top of the charts. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember how they were huge? They had released their financials for 1 year and they had made like billions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
on used games. And at that time, a lot of developers and stuff got mad because they were like, we're only getting money once, but they're reselling our games, reselling our games, reselling our games.
Yeah.
And that's when the whole trend started getting pushed hardcore going to digital. And like we had the DRM issue with the new Xbox One coming out, things like that. They were trying to push digital so hard because you can't resell digital. What
And
digital
yeah.
in PC? Once you buy a game in PC, you got the DRM. You buy a physical game in PC, you crack that code, you put the code in. That disc belongs to you, and that's it. And nobody else can use it.
And don't forget, people were modding the hell out of the 360 and the PS3 and
Exactly.
everything else. They were modding the hell out of the hardware.
Exactly. So at that time, and then if you notice, after they started pushing all the digital content stuff, you notice GameStop has been having on a rapid decline this whole gen because people are moving to buying all digital things like that.
Right.
Um, I've been saying for a while that like Xbox wanted to move their whole bases to PC. And now my thing is they may want to go third party. Because I mean, thing is let's be real. Just like you said with the Series S, they're talking about PUBG at 30 frames per second on it, knowing
And
that
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
knowing gamers have been clamoring, they want nothing but 60 frames
900p,
per
my
second.
bad. That's a 900p
Oh,
resolution. I'm like, what? 900p? What?
anyway, they've been, and as I made a point earlier, gamers have been screaming for 60 frames per second base minimum. Some of them are even saying we don't care about 460, just give us 1440 and 60 frames per second. You see what I mean?
Yep.
But here they are releasing a console that's not even performing 60 frames per second.
They don't get a pass. I don't understand it.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand it, Bunny. I don't know,
I
but
mean,
I
and
tell you
that's what
what,
I'm saying. It's almost as if they want it to fail.
that's what it's looking. It's kind of
And,
looking like
and,
that to
and
the theorists. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say conspiracy theorists, but
I mean,
it's kind of looking like that.
and I mean, you got to think about also they canceled the One X after 2 years. If the console can fail, they will be like, oh well, consoles are not the hip thing anymore. Let's move straight to digital only and go straight to the Windows stores, release on Steam. Let's do the cloud thing. We can put cloud everywhere. Blasey, blasey, blasey. I mean, I hate to say it, but you have to look at both sides of the same coin. You know, if it fails, what's the upside? You got to think about it like this. What's the upside to the consoles if they succeed? Think about it like that, Storm. What are the upsides if the consoles succeed?
You asking now?
Yes, I'm asking you that.
If consoles succeed, well, there's a few I could think of. They, you know, the shit, not too many. Then I thought I had like 3 or 4, but the upsides is that people will be able to look forward to. They will always be willing to pay that upsides for the gamers or for the manufacturers or the companies.
Either or.
Okay, for the companies is that people is about to spend $400, $500, $600 because prices trend up, not down. So they'll be getting that money. But the con to that is that they're losing money on each console made.
Okay. So
For the gamers, they're getting more powerful hardware each generation, right? And that's closer to PC hardware. This Series X and this PS5 is going to be on a PC type level. You know, that's why they can make games like Gears of War 5, for example, run at above ultra settings and 4K 60.
So now let's look at the flip side of it.
Yeah.
What's the upside if the consoles fail?
If they fail, they can move right over to the cloud because that's a new thing. You know what I mean? That's for the company.
There's some more upsides to it for the company also. Think about it like this. You won't have to make consoles anymore.
That's right. Subscriptions will be king.
You'll have production costs like to make the game, but you won't have production costs of putting them into store shelves, renting store
manufacture the warehouses and all that good stuff.
shipping, things like that. You won't have that stuff either. So you'll be cutting out that whole middleman. You'll be cutting out a middleman there.
That'll equate to billions of dollars that they could put somewhere
Okay.
else.
Um, so you would have where everything would go to the cloud, this, that, and the other. So then you're gonna get to the point of where you're paying full price for digital games, and basically they get 100% profit. Okay, so I mean you got to look at both sides of it. There's
I see what you're saying
upside.
and why
It's
it makes sense for them.
upside.
Yeah,
It's upsides to both of them if they fail or succeed. It's more upsides if they fail than if they succeed.
I get what you're saying, and that's why I felt the way I agree with you when it comes to that. You know, Charles said, I get what you mean about always online, but how else would we play multiplayer without being in the same room? For client, me and Bunny and I was talking about that before the show, so I know we'll get into that multiplayer side and couch co-op and all that. But
And that's a very valid
when
point.
you
Like I
said for
said,
cloud, you get more power and more value, which is a fact because you're playing on a data center now, which is far more powerful than any PC or
mm,
console
mhm.
possibly combined. You know what I'm saying? If you think about the hardware and the server blades and all this technology that's going into this whole thing, the fact that you can be using in the future, you could be using 2 to 4 GPUs yourself, Bunny. Imagine,
Mhm.
like Stadia, for example. I know I read somewhere that they could basically put two graphics cards in a server. They could put like 4 or 6 or whatever, but 2 of those could be dedicated to me and you. Snow Bunny and Project Storm can game on this one server blade, so to speak, right? With
Mhm.
these two up to 4K, 60
Mhm.
frames per second. As they upgrade that hardware to the latest AMD tech or whatever, then it's going to be
You're
8K
talking about like cloud and
120.
stuff, right?
Yeah, 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 for the cloud.
And
So
I mean, now you see what I
the
mean.
value is there. The value is there. Like they're putting out major billions in advance because they know that they're going to get those billions back
Mhm.
eventually. You know what I'm
But
saying?
if
But
you
it
have
benefits
a
the gamer, I
console,
think.
yeah, but if you have a console, you may or may not get them billions back.
Yeah, yeah, because you got to pay. Yeah, because you're going to be in the
Don't know if the people are going to buy it.
yeah, you're
I
going to be
mean
in the
that
gray.
it's always a gamble if the players are going to buy the console. You know your diehards are going to buy it, but they're not targeting the diehards. They don't have to do much to target the
But
diehard.
some people might say it's the same thing if people don't sign up for the subscriptions and stuff, though, like for
Exactly.
your cloud service.
Yeah. So I mean that's the thing. It's an upside and a downside to both of them.
It is.
And,
It's kind of confusing. I know some people like, damn, that's confusing. Man, I never thought about that. It's crazy, right?
then
But
like
it
you said, and that's the thing. I like very valid point about how you're going to do couch co-op without internet, things like that. You know, right now we've been conditioned to do a lot of I mean, to do a lot
well,
of online play.
well, you don't need the internet for couch co-op.
I
You
mean,
know
and
what I'm
that's the
saying?
thing. You don't need the internet for couch co-op, but how many games now offer split screens? I know
Not
for a
that's a good
fact.
point.
I know for a fact Splatoon 2, there's no split screen for Splatoon 2. You
All
have to
right,
have separate TVs.
all right, I'll say this. Forget about that. There may not be that many split screen games, but that's why Microsoft and Sony are banking on you enjoying your old games from yesteryears. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Now we talked about it last show, right? We talked about it
Yep.
last show. We got into it, right? But now you're seeing why it makes sense, Bunny. Now you're seeing. Now Project Storm's
But
about to get a point, y'all,
but the
because
thing
all
is,
these old games, you know what I mean, quote unquote or whatever, old. These games are gonna be revitalized. It's gonna be a breath of fresh air, no pun intended.
okay, so for
Breathe into
couch
these games.
co-op, and here's the thing, okay, for couch co-op, okay,
Yeah.
right now, think about your gaming circle. Think about your gaming. Everybody, think about your gaming circle. How many of them are close enough to come over your house to fucking play?
Well, guess what? I'm not okay. I'm not worried about that. But some people have families though, and that's why they
I mean,
integrate the
and
family plans and all these things into
I mean,
these
yeah,
consoles and the cloud.
we know that too. But the thing is the family play the people who have families to play with and stuff. How many of them are complaining? They're
Here,
already sitting there. Most of them already buy two and three of the consoles, so that like I know somebody who's gotten three PlayStations because their kids getting one because they're not sharing theirs. So what's the point in couch co-op?
all right, check this. Here's the deal. I'm gonna bring up an example. A game like Fusion Frenzy, one of the most fun Xbox games that launched with the Xbox One back in
The first X,
2001 or whatever year it launched.
first Xbox.
The
Just say
first,
the
I
OG
mean, OG,
Xbox.
damn, I said the one. I'm
You
talking
said
about,
Xbox
okay.
One. I was like, wait
And
a
you
minute.
know, it is confusing as hell. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The
Yeah,
OG Fusion
you mean the
Frenzy did
OG
not launch with
Xbox?
the Xbox One. It's dumb as Microsoft. Get y'all stuff together, man. Now y'all gonna come out with the series. I don't know about all that, man. Just name the thing something crazy. The Scorpio, or you know what I'm saying, or the Scarlet or something like that. Like, damn.
And if you're gonna have
Here,
multiple consoles in the same generation, let's just name them one each of the zodiac. You have
uh,
the Scorpio, you have
yeah,
the Cancer, you have the Taurus, you have the Libra.
right, something. But man, I mean, cause damn. Anyway, so back on the original, the OG, you
Mhm,
had Fusion Frenzy, right? That
mhm.
game was fun as hell, Bunny. Now you can go back and play that game. I'm sure all the features are still built into it. You know, all they had to do is just bring those games to today, so to speak, and all that split screen is probably still baked in these games, so they won't have to do too much work. You know, is my thinking. So you're gonna get access to hundreds of those again, and that's why it's a good value. I think it's a good value proposition. A lot of games people bought, especially at a sale price. Remember, games go on sale like crazy these days. You got a spring sale, fall sale, a winter sale, summer sale, a black sale, white sale. It don't got, you know what I'm saying? It seems like a sale for every damn body. And you could take advantage of that. Now you got free to play games. Free to play wasn't out like that. We had demos. And shit, if you was lucky, you might get a mag. You might have to read. When I was a gamer, I had to read a magazine, and maybe I can get lucky and
Yeah,
get. You know what I'm saying? But here,
we got demo disc and magazine.
yeah, you get what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying now is it's so convenient for them to deliver this and drop these prices of these games. That's when people should, all right, so people, here's the deal. You buy the AAA games that you love, you buy the indies that you love. Don't throw your $60 out there on a game that you know you're not going to play until 6 months from now. It don't really make sense. You wait and get that in Game Pass or these subscriptions, and that's why people think some people think that these subscriptions are a ripoff, Bunny. I think that there's tremendous value in them because as long as you can stop your payment when you want and you get access to hundreds and thousands of games, that's a win-win. So for the Series X to be launching with thousands of games, the PS5 is going to be bringing you over 1,000 PlayStation games or third party included, whatever the case is,
But see, I
eventually.
personally think PlayStation got the better deal because for the people who don't want to play those games, you still have the new games dropping with the console.
Yeah, but that's for now. Here's the deal. Would you rather play 6 new games or thousands of older games and new up to
Now, yeah,
newest games
you and I,
or new
oh,
games?
you already know the
Now
answer
hold
to that
on. I want you
question
to
for me.
think. I want you to think about it now because I just asked you a good
Already
question.
know
I
the
just
answer
asked you a
to
good
that
question. Thousands versus a few.
question. Okay, you already know that my answer for that.
Thousands versus a few.
I would rather play a few because if I've already played the thousands that are there, then why am I going to play them again?
No Snow Bunny Gaming. I can tell you right now, this will be the only time I'm going to stand right here and just give it to
You
you
tell
right
me
now.
you died
You have
on
not
that
played
hill.
no thousands of games. Now you have in your lifetime as a gamer, but some of those games, I can name 100 right now that you haven't even touched. A
And
hundred.
I can tell you right now, there's probably 500 I haven't touched because either they're first person or it didn't interest me then. So why am I going to play something that don't interest me? I'm not one of these gamers who play any new game that comes out just because it's a new game coming out. A game has to interest me. If I didn't buy it then, what makes you think I'm going to buy it now or play it
Because Bunny,
now?
you're always discovering new games, my sister. That's what you're doing. You're always discovering new games, just like I am. Now, just like I have on, I'm gonna tell you right now, on my mind, I have two games. Like people are talking about no games are coming for the next generation, and that the features, the RDNA2 is not making any sense, Bunny, and all that is not adding up. But when you look at gameplay footage of like games like Call of the Sea, you can go check it out on YouTube, Call of the Sea
Yeah, I was
at
going to
4K,
check
at 4K, Call of the Sea.
care about the 4K. Let's
It
look at
looks impressive. It reminds me of a Sea of Thieves type of game, but not pirates and stuff. It's more of an adventure. I don't know if it's survival based, but I like Call of the Sea. I like what I saw. The graphics are there. It looks good. It looks like you have to survive on the island and all that good stuff. And then Atomic Heart is another game. Atomic Heart looks like something that you have not seen before. It's weird, but it's beautiful. It's showing what these consoles are doing. You seeing what you paying your $500 for is my point, Bunny. So
oh, Call of the Sea is
the
pretty good.
value,
It's first
yeah,
person.
the value, yeah. But I'm saying the value is there though, and these are just some like Scorn. I don't know if you saw that gameplay. Scorn is another
It's
game that's
first
coming.
person. I got hyped
I,
as shit for
I,
Scorn.
I know, but listen, hold on. All I'm saying is these games are coming. Now, you might not be to play a lot of them, so it might not be for you, but man, for
And
me,
see, and that's the thing. That goes back to
woo.
what is the value of the games to the gamer. For you, those games are high value. For me, since I can't play them, I don't give two shits about them. And that's where the value of games differ between gamers.
But I understand your side. I think you don't fully understand I think you don't agree with my side, but I understand.
No,
I fully support your side.
I understand and agree with your side, but that doesn't necessarily okay. I agree with your side and I know your side, but the thing is it boils down to the individual gamer. There you go, talking about what a great value it is for everybody. But for some people, it might not be a great value. Like for me, it's like okay, it's whatever. I wouldn't get it because for me, I don't see a value in it. But you see a great value in it.
Yeah, because a lot of and Fugly says something right here. It's not for the thousands of gains, Snow Bunny. He says gaming is more of what's been added and coming. All right. So what's being added to me is updated resolutions, and even if it's minimal, an update is an update. That means that game is going to
That's
probably look and feel better
you.
than it did when it launched, and throughout the whole time that game was on the market, it's probably going to look better now with the Series X and the PS5. That is what I'm saying. Now, all right, okay. Some people
I
won't care about
like
that,
I said, and like I said, that's a value for you. But that's not a value for every gamer out here. That's
but
the one thing that gamers do. They think that what they think is the best thing out there, that they think everybody should think the same way or that nobody else understands that. Yeah, we understand it, but it boils down to what is a great value for you.
that's okay. That's cool. I agree, and these companies know that too. They know that they're not going to
Exactly.
be able to get everybody.
They got everybody hyped and fighting amongst each other.
But the problem is we think in absolute sometimes. That's the problem.
Exactly. That is exactly what it is. Okay, everybody, people think in absolutes. Okay, this is the absolutely best thing ever, but that goes down to the gamer. Like I personally think Animal Crossing: New Horizons is the best fucking Animal Crossing there is, and that's my thoughts, and I accepted that is my thoughts. But there are some people out here.
And I think that it's the
Wait a minute,
kittiest.
but
Okay, I
there's
was about to say
other
the kittiest
people.
damn game.
But there's other people out here who love Animal Crossing who thinks this is the absolute worst Animal Crossing that ever came out.
Mm.
And that is not the value for what you pay for it. Some people absolutely do not like New Horizons.
Well, to each his own. But
Exactly.
all I'm saying is, don't try to rain on my parade, my tech parade. I'm happy. I can't wait to see what these games are going to look like running on these next gen consoles. I'm not going to rain on your parade. All you want to do is enjoy the experience of the game, Snow Bunny. Um, but I'm excited as hell. I can't lie to you. I'm excited now.
I
I'm not gonna get my hands on
And
both
don't
consoles.
you message me on the second on the ninth asking me to check my GameStop and everything down here to see if they got a Series X or for you.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. Now that's gonna happen. Hey, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. For the first time ever, because of the cloud, I don't put that much pressure on myself. I don't have to worry about whether I'm gonna miss out on the pre-orders. I'm not worried about that. Some people are stressed and pissed off and trying to call GameStop and Best Buy every day, checking the website every day to see if they can get that pre-order. I'm not doing that because of the cloud, the convenience of the cloud, the integration and the implementation of the cloud and the feature set that it has and the gains and the convenience and the SSD loading speed and everything that's already there on Stadia. Like this stuff right here, it's all good for me. Now, what won't be all good if the majority of those games, Bunny, are running at 30 frames per second, unlocked or unlocked frame rates under 60. I'm not going to be too thrilled long term with my purchase. I can't lie to you. But if I see a game like Dirt 5, Gears of War, Halo, anything I've ever enjoyed, Red Dead Redemption 2, looking better, running better, PUBG, running at 60 FPS, and things like that that I knew was impossible this generation, I'm going to have a smile on my face and I'm going to think it's all worth it, you know? And I'm not even talking about no Halo Infinite and all that stuff like Hellblade 2 going into the future and all that. I won't even be thinking about that because it's going to be right now. What do I have in front of me? It's going to be like I'm going to be a king sitting and I'm going to have all these damn different foods and candies and treats and shit all around me to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm going to feel. And the cloud on top of it. Come on, man. PC on top of that. Come on, Bunny. Now
Yeah,
you understand.
you're going to be super happy. Like for me, they're talking about now that with the Switch, the next one might be coming out, which, like I said, I've already told y'all I need a new Switch because mine is on its last legs. But they're up here talking about what game is that might be for the 4K people.
Which
Oh no
there's
no
a
no!
few of those.
They're saying and this is the reason I'm hyper to hear this. They're talking about Monster Hunter. The next Monster Hunter might be in 4K.
That'll be major.
That game that I showed you, you're like, oh man, that game looks hype.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about that one might be in 4K, which is a good thing for people like you who would jump on the bandwagon of the Switch because then it's offering 4K. But for me, that just means the next Switch is coming out and I'll be able to move my Animal Crossing. I can't move my Animal Crossing
When
right
that Switch comes out, I will be happy. But I tell you this: if that Switch comes out and it's not, you know, and there's no conversation at all about DLSS and all of that good stuff that we know could come with Nvidia with that partnership that they have, I'm probably going to be a little disappointed, but I will jump on it because I know the games are going to look as best they can on my TV in 4K. Now, if those games come out and they just bump the resolution and they don't implement any kind of updated texture work and all that good stuff, I still might enjoy it because it's Nintendo. They had that fantasy type vibe going on, you know, so I still might enjoy it. I can't wait for that day to come. I can't wait.
To be honest with you, if you haven't bought one now, because like I said, it's the same games and things. If you haven't bought one now, if they don't come out with a more powerful Switch for you, you most likely won't buy the more powerful Switch.
Well, I'm talking about a whole next gen console.
It's too early for a next gen console for Nintendo because the Switch is only going into its fourth year.
All right, I'm sorry. Not a next. Okay, give me a all right mid-gen
It'll be,
refresh then.
it'll
That's
be a mid.
powerful enough to
Yeah,
make me
that's what
think it's
I'm
next
saying.
gen. All right, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. Because they're talking about keeping the Switch model. Because, like I said, if they run it like they did the DS model with them going back to cartridges, if they run it like they did the DS model, shit, we might be having Switch iterations for 10, 20, 10 years.
Well, Nintendo's in a position because of the they made a profit so early that they're in position to do something. If they wanted to go next gen 2021, end of 2021, they can go with a
No,
whole new
no, but what I'm
console.
saying is if they do the same thing that they did with the 3DS, think about it like this with the DS line. Every iteration of the DS and the 3DS could play the previous iterations games. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking about when I
So
said what I
if
said. Yeah.
yeah, so even if Nintendo comes out with the next one, as long as they make it so that, like I said, with cartridges, it's easy as hell to make it backwards to with the old games. They'll already have a huge library of games. People who want to get one for their kids but can't afford to get a new console and get games will just get the new console and let the kids play the older stuff until they can get some new games, or even people for that matter. If they do something like that, it would be crazy. Think about how popular that would be. Because look at what happened with the DS line.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. Let's go back. Hey, it's chat time. It's chat time. We've been
Yes,
saying a whole lot, and there's still a lot to come. You know what I mean? I know we don't have that much time, but shit, it's still a lot to come. But look,
we always have a
we
lot
got
to.
to go back. Hey, Ray said we need a moderator. I think we might. That's up to Snow Bunny Gaming. You know what I'm saying? This is her domain right now. So she'll let y'all know. All she got to do is right click on the name that she wants to be, or click those little three
What happened to
buttons.
my mods? They're not in here now.
Oh, yeah, you do have some. That's right. Oh, I'm
Uh
one of them. Obviously, I'm one of them. But the
huh.
chat has been saying a lot of good stuff. Is my point. And I do want to address. I want to get involved in some of this discussion out here.
Mhm.
Uh, Let me see. Let me go down a little bit. All right, Squid joined. That's the homie. You
Welcome,
know what I'm saying?
Squid.
Squid is
Hello,
feeling that
Squid.
cloud gaming life. You know, so he might have missed out when we were talking about Stadia and
Oh,
all that good
that
stuff earlier.
also makes me question
What's
if
up?
Cloud takes off on the Switch, and like all these games are going like let's say a lot of the third party games go to Switch for the cloud.
Yeah.
Do you think that would hurt like Xbox or whatnot like that? Because you got to think about it like this: the Switch is cheaper, and if people are streaming from the cloud, wouldn't you don't need technology, you just need to you could stream it from anything.
It wouldn't put a dent in the competition because Xbox will have Game Pass and XCloud integration, and you know what I'm saying. And then PlayStation will have PS Now with over 800 games, including a vast library of exclusives. So I think they'll be fun. And Amazon now, I don't know because they're so new right now, and they're only
Well,
launching.
Amazon, I'm not even classifying right now because Amazon is still, I classify Amazon as in the baby stages of everything.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
understand what
So
I mean? I
yeah,
classify
we'll get them a
they're
pass.
they're in a baby stage. Now, after 6 months, because Stadia made big news within the first 6 months.
But it might make sense for the Nintendo to be able to put a dent in what Luna is doing because Luna is so
Exactly.
new. But Luna also has more games. But see, like I say, all Switch has to do is create this whole package for their gamers, right? Put a price tag on it, and then say, hey, for 11.99 a month or whatever the price might be, you get access to all these games and these exclusive first party titles. It's gonna be a wrap for you can bet your money that a million or 2 million people, because see, Nintendo had loyal consumers. That's one thing we know
But
about
there's
them.
also another factor to it. They have loyal consumers, but a lot of their loyal consumers are also physical collectors.
Yeah, but so is a same with Xbox and PlayStation and all that. So
Not as I mean, like, yeah, it is, but the thing is with those gamers, they're like in like I said, in Nintendo's home country of Japan, you had Square Enix begging people to buy Octopath Traveler digital so they didn't have to wait. And they were like, nah, 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 nah. We'll just wait till you get more physical copies in. Nintendo will cater to its home territory before the rest of the world. You, I, and everybody else knows that.
Yeah, I got you. So, but let
I
me
mean,
go ahead and. Oh, I was going to say I was
no,
going to
go
go
ahead
ahead
and
and
whip back to chat.
I was gonna get a little bit more to chat because
Mhm.
you know they've been out
Yeah,
here talking today.
go
So Squid joined and said hello, Snow Bunny Gaming and Project Storm. Hope y'all are doing great. Glad to catch the show live, and we're glad to have you here. That's why we put that tweet out. We're gonna do a lot better getting this, getting the tweets out there for people to give y'all time. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
hey, we appreciate having you.
I'm switching to StreamYard, so things should be going a little easier. Because StreamYard actually works the way it's supposed to, unlike what I was using. So we should get better.
Yeah, Zajic says kids always want to play what's trendy. Only the old ones want to go back and play those games. I guess he was talking about the games like the older games, maybe that
Mhm.
that's coming.
And
He
see,
said,
and there's where I'm like a newer gamer because I want to play the newer stuff coming out, but like the older stuff coming out, yeah, okay, it's coming out, but it's whatever for me. I guess that's what makes me such an odd gamer because I am older, but I don't have that whole nostalgic kick that a lot of gamers in my age, in our age range, Storm has,
right.
and
Hey,
I
here
don't have that.
here's one of the lines. Here's one of the lines of the night right here. Fatal Charade says, all I know is thanks to Game Pass Ultimate, I got exposed to new games I never would have played otherwise, like my friend Pedro. That is factual. And this is what we love about Stadia for all the Stadia
Oh, I
gamers.
remember that
That's
game.
what we love. Like the Stadia Pro just dropping 6, 7 titles on our heads every month. Like I jumped into today, what's the damn game? Republic for the first time. Jumped into Republic. Would not have bought Republic at all. I got a chance to play Celeste, Monster Boy, and all this other stuff that I never would have paid a dime for because I'm a AAA gamer first. I can't lie. I do like the indies. I
Wow.
love the indies, but I'm AAA Storm. You know what I'm
And
saying?
see,
Tech and AAA Storm.
that's where you and I differ. I play anything that looks fun, whether it's AAA or not AAA. Like right now, I'm get ready to pick up. Besides Pikmin 3, I'm about to pick up Story of Seasons.
Okay.
um. So yeah, that's where you and I differ. I will play an indie real quick.
I know I like indies. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
but
I
what
love
I'm
them.
saying
Inside and
no,
all
but
those
what I'm
types of games.
saying is what I'm
Well,
saying
Ori is
is
first party now, but I like those type of games.
what I'm saying is I will go out and buy an indie game before going to like Game Pass or anything like that.
Yo, did I have a? Am I? Ori went to the Switch, didn't it?
Ori and Ori 2 is on the Switch.
Damn.
And they were saying that when the first Ori came to the Switch, it was running better than on the Xbox. That's what the rumor was.
Wow. Okay. So Super Lucky's Tale.
Super
Uh,
Lucky's Tale is the fixed, updated version of Lucky's Tale from Xbox that went to Switch first, and then they ported the updated version that got fixed, which is new Super Lucky's Tale, to the PlayStation 4 and back to the Xbox.
okay. Cuphead.
Cuphead came to Xbox first, and it's also on the Switch.
Damn. Hold on. Wait a minute. Sunset Overdrive. Where did that go?
That's on Xbox.
I know, but I feel like it went somewhere else. Did it go to PlayStation? I think PlayStation gamers got that. Hey, I know. Hey, but anyway, games as a service, man. Games as a service. That's what it's all about. I like that. I like that move, Bunny. I like the fact that PlayStation gamers can play or Xbox what were considered Xbox exclusive games, and PC gamers can play what was considered PlayStation exclusive titles. You know what I'm saying? You see how beautiful that is? This little marriage that's going on right now. They need to
Sunset
just keep it coming.
Overdrive.
PC games are coming to consoles now because they're finally powerful enough. I mean, that's what it's all about, y'all. Like exclusivity needs to go ahead and not die, but they need to go ahead and just loosen up the
Hell,
rein on that thing.
Hellblade came to the Switch, but I think Hellblade's also on PlayStation 4.
And PC for sure. And X, yeah, yeah, most definitely. So now, but now it's a first party exclusive. So Hellblade 2 will be on Game Pass and Xbox when it launches,
But
unless there's something we don't know.
they may bring it to Switch. You never know.
Hey, all I know is look, there's a lot to be talking about, and I don't want to dominate it with the tech, but I do want to go back into features like variable rate shading, Snow Bunny. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Variable rate shading. Do you know anything about it?
Nope, but it sounds like I shouldn't care about it.
See, that's the problem I have with you right there. That is
What?
the problem that I had with you right there. It's like you won't even say storm. It sounds interesting. Or you won't even try to
No,
break it down. You
no,
won't
no,
even try to break down the word variable, rate,
no,
or
no.
shading.
I
That's
mean,
the problem I have with Snow Bunny Gaming. I can't lie to you. You know I'm gonna keep it
no.
real.
Okay, it sounds like something where it's changing the shading of games.
Okay, shading is definitely key. Now I will say this. What it can do, what it does, I know it boosts it boosts performance. And I know if you ever looked at a game and I'll try my best to make paint a picture that might be clear. But look, how certain games you look down and you don't see your arms and your legs and nothing like that. You just floating in
First
the
person.
air. And all right, so like that's kind of like one of those tricks that developers and this technology, these technology makers or whatever they implement to increase performance somehow, right? So now what's going on is these games like they're not shading things that's behind your character. So if you're looking forward, what the hell do you need to see what's going on behind you for? You know what I'm
Are you
saying? So,
talking about it? But see, there and see,
so hold on, wait a
that's
minute
where
now,
wait,
hold on,
wait,
wait a
wait,
minute
wait,
now, wait a
that's
minute
where
now,
I
because
know
you didn't
that
let me
from.
break things down. Hold on,
Go
what
ahead
time
and
is it? Hold
break
on,
it
I'm gonna break
down.
my shit down today.
Go ahead and
Hold
break
on.
it down.
All right, let me
I
break it
think I
down.
remember where I heard that term from. But go ahead
All
and break
right.
it down.
So basically, what it's doing is it's it's adjusting the rate shading that's going on in different areas of the map or the game world, right? So like say a game like Skyrim, you have a big ass mountain, right? You know what I'm saying? You know how beautiful Skyrim was with the mountains and stuff. So if you're looking forward at a little hut or somewhere over in a village or whatever, and you see a wagon and a horse, I'm just trying to paint a beautiful picture for you, right? And then behind you there's dragons flying over the mountain, and the mountain has snow and fog, and it's cool as hell to look at, and all this visual stuff is going on. Well, when you're looking at the horse in the cottage and all that stuff, they're not rendering the mountains as well in the background as behind you because you can't see it any damn way. Don't it? So it makes sense to you now, right?
Yeah, so like what you're
So it's
basically
increasing performance. The frame rate is going to stay higher and locked, so to speak. Bunny, ain't that
that's
cool?
the reason they make games in first person view versus third person view. Because in first person view, you only need to focus on the stuff in front of you. With third person view, you have to focus on the stuff behind that character and in front of that character. That's the reason first person view, you tend to have better frame rates.
Not in all cases, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say.
You see what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
if you
do. I
have
get
the
what you're trying
third
to say.
person, if you're in third person, they got to render that
The
character, the
character and the
body, the
characters
back,
sometimes are highly detailed. So
front of that character.
yeah, I get you. I cut out for a minute because Windows 10 does the thing, that it does sometimes for me. But I get and you're
Because of people talking about first person view, where that's the reason things are sharper and clearer in first person view, and that's how the games can become more immersive.
I get, and you're right. Now, with all this technology that they're talking about, it's not just It's just not some crazy monikers that they're throwing out there, right? It's actually like these terms mean something is what I'm trying to say. They mean something, Bunny. Like
And I
and
understand that
people
they
won't go out there and try to research any of it. They'll just say, I want to just play the game. And it does bother me a little bit that they won't go
but
out
I
there and
but
it'll make the experience better.
Storm.
What's
So
up?
like with the variable frame rate, okay?
Rate shading.
Whatever. It's
Yeah.
like I said, I primarily know it from first person view games.
Hmm.
I can't play first person view games.
Right.
So why should I care about it?
Well, it can also be implemented in third person games. That's why you should care about it, Snow Bunny.
Most times it's not.
Well,
They cut whole games like with Cyberpunk 2077. They cut third person from it because of how much they would have to render in for
well,
third
well.
person
See,
view.
that's why the SSD. See, now you're thinking now.
Okay.
That's why the
I'm
SSDs come into play. These super fast ass SSDs are not being thrown in there for no reason, Snow Bunny. You know what
But
I'm
the thing
saying?
is, I don't care what is going on, but you got to think about it like this. Okay, yes, the SSDs are faster, and they say, oh, well, when you get higher frame rates, you won't get sick, blasey, blasey, blasey. I can't even watch shit in first person without getting sick.
I understand.
So the thing is with me, okay, if it's something that I have so much to worry and think about and so much to remember and try to remember all the shit that I need to remember, if it's something that's not pertaining to something that I can do, I don't bother learning it. Like
That
prime
really
example.
disappoints me. That
That
that hurts my
like
now.
prime,
That hurts my feelings. I'm not gonna lie to you. It
like
does.
prime example. Okay? Prime example. I'm allergic to a certain medication, which is
Mm-hmm.
an element on the periodic table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to research it. If a volcano erupts, I'm fucked. I'm going to fucking die. I ain't even gonna lie to you about it. Because
Gotcha.
that compound is in volcanic eruptions. And I'm highly allergic to it.
Got you.
Okay. So things that I know third person view makes me sick. Technology that's enhancing that, like VR and shit like that, I already know it's going to make me sick. I don't
All right.
need to understand the whys and hows and this and that's of it because the moment I have to start taking drugs to play video games is the day I'm quitting gaming.
All I'm saying, I get all that, and I definitely take all serious. You know it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying though is for the conversations that happen in gaming. Say you're on a podcast, any
Hmm.
podcast, just pick one. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. And people around you are talking about the technology of the damn gaming, and that's what the whole show is dedicated about, right? Or and people are so happy, they're like, Bunny, even if it's Nintendo, like they're talking teraflops and DLSS and machine learning and
Nine times
uh,
out of 10,
variable rate shading and VRR and all
nine
that stuff. You mean to
times
tell
out
me?
of 10, I'm not on a show like that because I won't go on a show like that.
What if
I
it's just a conversation between you and your friends?
My friends automatically know don't have that conversation with me.
All right, you know what? Forget about it. Hey,
I
look, all I'm
mean, I
saying is
mean,
this.
you're throwing out all
All I'm
these
saying is
scenarios for me, but I
people.
can tell you, I know my friends. My friends know me. They know if they tell me, "Hey, um, Harvest Moon got a new game coming out. I'm gonna be all over it." If they tell me, "Yo, the new Switch is gonna have 6 teraflops," they know I'm gonna just have a glassy look on my eyes. I mean,
I'm
I'm
laughing.
going to be honest with you.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing
Okay,
at
you're talking
I'm
to the
laughing at somebody in
person
the
that
chat.
you're talking to the person who, when she says she's about to hang a picture on her walls, her friends tell her to put the hammer down, and they will come over and do it.
But Snow Bunny, it could enhance your. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm not trying to force anything on you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what I do. What I try to do is try to help so that you and whoever else that's willing to open their minds and listen to the conversation at hand and try to understand the tech. And then you can understand why me and Ray and other people are so exogenous, so fugly, and so many people are excited about this stuff in a way that you don't care about, but you would appreciate. See, and I'm not saying you don't appreciate. You get what I'm saying, Bunny, right? You get what I'm saying. It's kind of like at least try to be like, look, let me see what the hell Storm is talking about so I can understand him better. And so when Fugly and all these people are talking in the chat, I know what the hell they're talking about because now it all makes sense. That's all. Like, because if you say one day, say you're gonna get a gift for a family member, right? An Xbox Series X for a family member, PS5, and they ask you the question, Aunt Bunny or whatever the case is, or cousin or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Uh, can you give me the PS5 because it has all this? And do you know if it has this? And then you'll be able to say, you know what? Yeah, I do know that it has the rate shading, and it has VRR and all this other stuff. You'll know. You'll just be able to have that conversation like, yeah, instead of going out there and asking me, calling me on the phone and ask me, like, I know somebody that does know. It would be cool for once, right? If you knew it yourself, is what I'm saying. What do you think about it? Can we do? Can we do? Can we get together and go over the tech side of these consoles before they drop?
We've already gone over the tech sides of these consoles.
Talking about in a deeper fashion. Like we still didn't even get the mesh shading and all this other stuff, Bunny, and all this machine learning, DLSS. All right, we don't have to go into all that right now. We don't
I
have to go into it.
understand what machine learning is. That's cut and fucking dry. Okay, machine learning is you give it a program and based on what inputs and things you put into it, it gets smarter because it's learning the construct.
Mm-hmm. See, and how do you know that?
Let's see here. They've been playing around with robotics for at least 30 years, trying to make an AI that can think on its
All
own.
right, got it. All right, I'm gonna leave you. All right, so I'm gonna leave you alone. We're done with that. We're done with the tech talk for now, right? But
I mean,
I'm
like
te-
I said,
I'm
I don't
telling you.
care. I don't care about how things work or what makes it work. I just like reading what the results of it is. That's how I know about machine learning and AI learning. Because I can tell you right now, I don't care what's in it, but if they could make a fucking android that could walk around and clean up my house, I'm gonna be the first motherfucker in line buying that bitch.
I hear you. Now, let me ask you something. Which console, because this is what we wanted to get into before we end up rapping later on, but which console do you think is going to win the generation, the next generation?
Oh, I can't answer that too soon to answer it because it's going to boil down to what software comes out. Right now, like I said, I don't care about, like I said, if you factor out all the old games or whatever, we got to look at what games are coming out for it. That's what's going to determine what game wins the generation.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the PS5 again, but Xbox is gonna do better than it did this generation for
I
sure.
think the Xbox is going to do better, yes. But like I said, right now it's too soon to tell because like I said, right now we need to wait till these consoles drop.
I don't have to really wait
No, no,
because
no, no. The reason no, listen to me. The reason I'm saying we gotta wait till these consoles drop because when they drop, we're gonna A know everything, right?
yeah,
B, if there's a major flaw in these consoles, that's gonna set it back by 2 to 3 years. You understand what I mean?
potentially, yeah.
Exactly. I'm not saying that based on what they write on paper, we need to
Right,
wait
I
and
got
see how
you.
these consoles come out. My thing is, we need to wait till these consoles come out because we don't know what might happen to them. They're saying all this stuff behind the scenes, but until each and every person who's going to get these consoles get them in hand and start using them on a regular basis, do we know how they're going to actually perform?
Hmm.
Based on people's internet speeds, what countries they're in, whether they can access the internet or not, that's going to all affect these consoles.
You know what I just thought about? I said I was done with the tech side. I lied. I lied, and I'm not going to apologize for it because I feel like I have something to
No,
say.
I don't classify it as you lied. I think you just had something popped into your. You had a light bulb go off.
Yeah, so I could tell you this as you're talking. I thought about it. AMD and Nvidia. Now you've known about this war for decades now. You know what I'm saying? They've been going at it. Nvidia's been dragging AMD, and AMD recently got it together with their Zen CPUs and started kicking ass. And then now they have their the 6000 series GPUs,
Mhm,
and they're going to even be able to work together, the CPU and the GPU, as long as you have a certain motherboard. All of this stuff can work together, man. It's going to
mhm,
be crazy, right?
mhm,
So now AMD is in a position to finally just knock Nvidia out of the box if they want to, right? If they
mhm,
play their cards right.
mhm.
So if we're if we have a guest on the show, right? And if we have a guest on the show and and the guest and I we're having a good old time talking about this technology, Bunny. You
Mhm.
just gonna let us do our thing and not even want to be a part of the discussion. This is the last question, the last time I'm gonna bother you about it until the next gen consoles drop.
I mean, I've been in shows like that where the conversation turned to tech like that.
It
If I
won't be
get
all tech though.
no,
No.
no. What I'm saying is I might ask a question or something. When you say something that piques my interest, I will ask a question.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
If something piques my interest, I'm going to ask a question about it. Okay. But in that case, I might be monitoring the chat for you while you're having that great conversation.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can leave it right there. Next, we got
I
to
mean,
talk about this.
and that's what I'm saying. I might interject something from you that somebody asking in the chat.
Yeah. Well, we had to talk about now the PS5 controller,
Oh, the dual sense.
the dual sense controller. I'm hearing nothing but great things out here about this controller, Bunny, and I'm hearing that people are out here buying 2 and 3 controllers before the consoles even come.
Because they're buying all the accessories before the consoles drop.
Xbox as well. Same
I
thing.
don't think Xbox has dropped any because you could buy the old controllers for the Xbox, but I don't has a new controllers
Yeah.
dropped for
Yeah.
the Xbox?
Well, this new one, the one that's coming with the system is kind of like an updated version.
Yeah, but I mean, is that one out for sale? I don't even know if that one's out for
I
sale.
thought it was. I thought it was. But anyway, I'm saying like with the dual sense, I've been seeing YouTubers and journalists and everybody having a good time with
But
this
see,
controller.
that's the one thing. Everybody who's saying they love it and everything, who are testing out, playing around with it, are all influencers and journalists. I want to get somebody who's not either to tell me how that system is.
Well, some of these journalists they're going to be credible and honest and everything to tell you what's going on with this stuff. I think and Sony themselves has already told you, they've given you a glimpse of what the controller is about already. But some people seem to be enjoying the whole the experience with this controller, and they're thinking that it can be a game changer. Some of them for the
Mhm.
next generation, you know. So, do you consider that highly innovative when it comes to that
Now,
dual
some
sense
of the
controller?
some of the things that's in the DualSense controller, I do classify as highly innovative. Like that one where if you're playing that shooter game, if your gun jams, your controller jams too.
Yeah, yeah,
That's mine. That's game changing. Think about it like this: you're playing a game, and think about how realistic that will feel for you. You're popping out, let's say you're playing Call of Duty or something, and you're popping out from behind somewhere and your gun jams. That could happen in real life. You see
Yeah,
what I mean?
but think about this. Here's something that people are not talking about. The Elite controller has their trigger locks. You know what I'm saying? And they've been locking these buttons now. It won't be the same effect though, because I'm hearing from what I understand about the dual sense is going to be like some kind of resistance at times. And the controller, I'm sure, is going to vibrate a certain way because if you, how else will you get the sense of sand being blown in your face and stuff like that unless the controller vibrates at different levels? And so
Mhm.
I can't wait to get my hands on it to see what it's all. But the Elite controllers have been, you can trigger lock those. You can go halfway with the trigger
No,
and
but
all the and
there's a difference there. Do you have to program that into the controller?
oh yeah, I know, no, I know. That's probably
Whereas
going to be done on the
dual
software
sense,
side.
yeah, where dual sense is an automatic thing.
I
The
was just
game will send the signal to the controller.
yeah. Now that's
That's
dope.
where it's game
That's
change.
dope.
Like on the Switch, I can go into the Switch and change. I can remap the configures of my controllers, and I can also change the intensity of the vibrations and everything. But I have to go into the game and do that.
Yeah.
Whereas with the dual sense, it sounds like to me where the game is automatically doing it for you.
Yo, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know
That's
how many
game change.
degrees. I don't know how many varying degrees that they have with this trick. I can't wait to experience it myself, get my
But
hands on it.
then there's the
But
flip side to it.
I'm thinking like with the whole trigger lock idea, like these pro controllers were the first ones to have that, like where you could lock stuff, and then these paddles underneath. I still think the Elite controller being able to have now they're gonna Sony's gonna have to come out with a pro version, and I'm sure they will. But this that because the Xbox Elite 1 and 2 is gonna be so damn cool with the triggers that you can map and all that, having the triggers underneath the controller. You can, so because the way when I play shooters, I have a trigger underneath and I can use my right middle finger to hit the bottom trigger, and that's how I jump. Or if I'm playing a racing game, I can even map the damn pedals to the triggers underneath the controller. I mean, I don't know. I know some people will be like, why would you want to do that? But hey, if you get tired of squeezing triggers, yeah, but if
Yeah,
you get tired of squeezing triggers with your fingers and you could just rest your hands on the controller and just do it naturally that way. That's innovation and I like it. And it's good at the Xbox is you're gonna be able to bring those controllers over to play um from day one and your old Xbox controllers as well. That's pretty forward thinking, I think,
the only
on
thing
both sides.
the only thing that I'm curious about is how third party is going to implement those into their games. Because it's up to third parties to implement that
And
into
some of them
their
won't.
games.
Some of them won't.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So because like there's been plenty of innovations that came out, like PlayStation had that
The
touchpad.
touchpad,
That touchpad,
yeah.
think about it like this, like a function that the Wii U had with the touchpad. When you played Splatoon, you could use your touchpad to tap where you wanted your squid to jump to. Okay,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had that touchpad on. How many games utilized the touchpad on the PlayStation 4 controller? Think
There was
about it like
some
this.
like Infamous and all, some other ones I could think of.
Yeah, but think about it like this. What if you had made it so that the touchpad, you tap the touchpad and your map comes up?
That's what I
Or,
was
or,
just thinking
or
that, Bunny, for a game like
and
PUBG.
you could swipe through the map. You could swipe through your menu using the touchpad. Think about it
Yeah,
like this. You're playing a game. You tap it to pull up the map. You want to
right.
see what's in your inventory. Swipe it and you can
Swipe
see
it.
what's in your inventory.
Absolutely,
That's
Bunny. That
something
would
that
be
could have been implemented in so many games. Think about Call of Duty,
yep.
PUBG.
Yeah, PUBG especially because you got to hit the little ass option button to bring your map up, which is ridiculous when they got the big ass touchpad right there, less than a centimeter away from it. All they had to do was put map on one side, menu on the other one,
Or
or
even just
tab
tap or
or
just
whatever.
tap it to pull up the map and use your thumb to swipe through the menus.
Whatever. Hey,
Cell phones can do it.
Yeah, and so they didn't take advantage of it. You're right. That's I get your point. They didn't take advantage of it, and that's crazy. But I
So
hope they do better with this dual sense though.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So with all these new haptic triggers and this, that, and the other, and these new controllers, how many games are going to actually take and use it? It gets to the point of you're saying, what's the point of having all these functions if third parties who you focus on more to sell your platform, third parties, you've said it, everybody said it, third party games is what carry a platform.
But the exclusives are what also gives people reasons, incentives to jump on a certain platform. So,
But
with
my
that
point,
being said, The Last of Us 2, I can see Ellie pulling the bow and arrow back or whatever, and then you got that resistance before she needs to let it go, and the controller, it's tougher to squeeze the trigger and all that. And that's just gonna be dope. It's gonna be
exactly.
dope.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping these companies, because think about it like this. What if Call of Duty came out and told you, hey, on the PlayStation 5, you could just touch this touchpad, pull up your map, do this, that, and the other? How many people who had a PlayStation 4 would have gone and bought it on the PlayStation or PUBG? What if instead of hitting that little option button, they tell you, oh, on the PlayStation 4, you could just hit the touchpad and you could pull up this, that, and the other? How many people do you think would have rushed to play it on the PlayStation 4 for the ease of convenience? That's
Yo,
marketing there. Think about it like that. So I'm hoping with all these new functions that's coming into these new controllers, games use the functionality of the functions.
Yo, I tell you right now, Red Raven said, "Wouldn't you break your controller by mistake when them locking the
I'm
triggers or whatever?"
expecting.
Now,
I'm expecting.
somebody just said on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter today that this guy actually said that I think he broke his. Now I don't know if he actually broke it. I didn't get a chance to see, but he said that I forgot who it was too, but he was going to be making a video about it. So I want to go back and check that out because I hope not. I hope not. Because when you talk about, and then Fugly said not true entirely. The DualShock is programmable. All right. You send it, you set it in settings and game. So okay, so it's
But
just I just hope that it's reliable. As Bunny was hinting at, I hope it's reliable. I hope these consoles are reliable as well.
or even if you have to set it in settings, yeah, you can set it in settings. But if the game doesn't have the settings for you to set it in, that's kind of that's where I'm getting at. Will these games utilize the full potential of the dual sense?
Yeah, we're gonna see soon. I tell you that. I can't wait. You know what I mean? So I know it's 8:02 right now, and I'm trying to buy time for next gen to come so I can walk into Walmart or whatever and I can hit Bunny up and say,
Like
Bunny,
I
can you
said,
please?
I expect on the 9th you'll be texting me, yo, Bunny. They
You
got
know,
it consoles down
you
there.
know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna
What?
offer Moss, because Moss pre-ordered. I'm gonna offer Moss $600. Be like, bro, 600, take it or leave it. For
For
your
what?
PS5. I'm gonna
For your
get yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna pay for the overnight and all. I got a plan. I got a plan.
Well,
So
you're
that's what I'm gonna do.
close enough up there because he's
I
near.
know he's up. Yeah, I know.
Y'all can
I,
meet 50-50. You
nah, I mean I ain't driving. No, what I'm not gonna do is drive. What I'm saying is I'm gonna pay for that shipping to happen overnight. You know what I mean? If
all
if he don't, because I'm telling you now, I think I could talk him into it. So we'll
right.
see, man. But hey, it's almost
All right, guys.
8:05.
Yes, it is the end of the show. But we have one more show before next gen drops. That's going to be next Sunday. Now, guys, I'm going to also drop a link in chat because guess what? We, Storm and our show, Ying Meets Yang of Gaming, is also on Radio Public. So
Sure
if
is.
you guys are new to the podcast and this is your first time joining, if you want to hear the other previous episodes, you can either check them out on my channel, or if you don't want to be stuck sitting in front of your computer or your iPad or whatnot, you can check out Radio Public. It's a free area where you can listen to podcasts. You could go there, listen to it any way you want to, driving to work, from work, sitting on the bus, however you want to do. But here is the link. And oh no,
While you're finding that, I'm gonna go ahead and plug what's going down. Um,
yes.
So I could tell you all, first of all, thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening, all the future listeners or whatever. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all. As you know, it would be pretty boring sitting up here. Now, it wouldn't be boring talking to Snow Bunny, but us talking to ourselves, it's always fun when we have people like y'all. So thanks for tuning in as usual. And for anybody that cares or anybody that wants to try to find what I do and why I like to text so much, you can find me over on my channel, Project Storm. So it's youtube.com/Project Storm. And you can find some 4K content from like the cloud, Stadia, and the consoles and PC. Even I started my native PC stuff recently, so I'm not Fatal Charade, but I try to just get my gameplay out there so that people can see what my PC is capable of until I get that new art, that AMD 6000 series card. Also, I mean, we have so many things going on. Wednesday nights, you can find us, me, Bunny, MM2K, and Peach Mecca, aka Tron, aka Tronny. You know what I'm saying? AKA Baby Tron, and everything she wants to be. You can find us all. We all chop it up Wednesday nights at what time, Bunny?
It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on MM2K's channel.
Yes, it is. And then I know you can find me, MM2K, Eddie Player One on Thursday, right after that. You can find us Thursday at 3 Eastern Time on the SSC podcast. That's always is a show that's dedicated to Stadia, but we do cover other topics as well. And then on Saturdays, SML podcast with me and MM2K. Again, that starts at 11 Eastern. It used to be 12, but we changed the time to 11 Eastern time. So check that out, y'all. And of course, here, YMYOG. Always find me and Bunny right here chopping it up and just going at it and having fun at the same time.
Yes. Also in the description, I dropped a link to Storm's newest video that he posted roughly a couple hours before the show. Check that show out if you guys want to see some Destiny 2 gameplay on Stadia, isn't it?
It's crispy. It's crispy. It's on Stadia. It's crispy. It's SSD loading going on. They've been doing SSD. They've been doing all this stuff for a year that the console gamers are about to experience, minus the 4K 120 and some other stuff. But Stadia is dope for people who like a good value proposition. So I appreciate that, Bunny. It is definitely crispy though, y'all. Check it out.
All right. So, as we were saying, I dropped the link to Radio Public. You can go and listen to our podcast whenever you want to. New episodes usually go up every 2 to 3 days after they air. You can also find Project Storm, MM2K, myself over on the PNTSnetwork.com. If you want to find out show schedules, anything going on in our lives, things like that, gaming related, go to PNTSnetwork.com. So, Project Storm, where can they find you at on
Twitter.
Twitter?
Oh, at the Nephiliac. I need to start dropping that link because I know people are like, what? But that just means somebody who loves clouds. I'm on my cloud gaming thing right now, so I went with that name. Some people seem to love it, so I'm gonna go ahead and stay with that. But yeah, you can find me at the Nephiliac. That's NEPHOPHILIAC.
And you can find me at Snowbunny426 on Twitter, chopping things up, dropping random things as normal, just like I do in the show. And that's it for this week's episode. You catch us again next Sunday. Like I said, next Sunday is a special night. It's the week that consoles drop. Next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on my channel.
I can't wait. I feel like Lamar Wilson. Shout out to Lamar Wilson. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel right now.
Yes, you are as hyper as that right now.
Yes, I am.
So, like I said, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for showing up to my humble little channel here. You guys have a great weekend. If you need anything, hit me up on Twitter. Hit Storm up if you got some questions about Stadia, things like that. Have fun, everyone, and have a safe week. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to check us out Wednesdays at 8 p.m. over on MM2K's channel, The Commission. Have a great evening, guys.
Peace, y'all. Take care.
Bye.